Okay, so yesterday's horse incident. So when we left the main house to head back to the cabin in I think it was late afternoon, early evening. It was like around 5:30 or something like that. And that's Rue. And there were a couple of horses. And so there's sort of a trail that goes straight, and then there's a trail that kind of does a U shape around the main trail. So we decided to try and avoid the horses and go on the U shape. But then what happened was, it was kind of weird and funny. I mean, so one of the horses went and blocked, or so after we entered the U, one of the horses went in that direction and literally blocked off where we just entered. So then we went around the U and came out the other end. And then there's another horse. There's two horses here. And, so this one kind of just ends in a clearing as well. And then yesterday when we went to the other one, it ended in a clearing as well. Anyway, so and all the dogs, of course, they were cautious of the dog. They were somewhat fearful, anxious, because they don't know. They probably have never encountered a horse. And I mean, I've never encountered a horse with dogs, but I know animals, if you don't mean any harm and you're not fearful and you're calm and, you basically try to avoid them to the best of your ability, they pretty much leave us alone most cases. Look at Felix. He's just like, I'm just going to make myself at home and clean myself. He's a bit like a cat. Maybe that's why they named him Felix. Felix the dog, but he acts like a cat sometimes. Just kidding. Okay, so with the horse story, so then we, sorry, I just saw a sign of where this is, so I'm just going to go towards it. Hey, Felix is cleaning himself. They pick up a lot of spurs and things like that because we're out in nature. Oh, this is Moose Meadow. Oh, okay. Okay. Because this is the other path that we took. That's strange. But I thought the other sign was, it said Moose Meadow too, but it was a green or a blue coloring. Like this one, the paint is red. See, the wording is red. The other one was blue or green or something like that, or turquoise. Okay, so sorry, with the horse story. Okay, so I'm like, oh, come on, guys, it's fine. So I went, I don't know if we're supposed to, but the only way around that horse was behind it. So we went behind it as much as we possibly can so that we're out of sort of kicking range, because I know about horses and them kicking backwards and stuff. But so we did that, and so Chewy was ahead of me, but he stopped and he let me go first. And he's like, you see how they are with you, Gabby, and if they're good with you, I'll follow you. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I went past the horse and I was like, come on, guys, it's fine, keeping calm and making not a big deal out of it. So Chewy went behind the horse as well, keeping as far away as possible, and he made it fine. Rue made it fine. So all three of us are past it, and Felix sees the horse. I call Felix, I tell him it's fine. He's like, nope, I don't think so. That dang animal is way too big. I'm not even up to the knees of the horse, and he turns around and starts kind of trotting back the way we came from. And so I'm like, oh, okay, fine. we're just going to, like maybe by now, like we can just take that straight away, you know, but when we got to the sort of close to the other end of the U that we had entered, the other horse was still there blocking it. So literally these two were almost blocking the path. And I say almost because the other one did leave some space behind so we can walk it. But so I did have to leash Felix up and really convinced him. And honestly, it was almost like pretty much like almost dragging him, but you know, he reluctantly came. And I didn't want to pick him up, and here's the reason. Because one time I was walking a dog, a bigger dog. I think was he on leash? I don't think. Yeah, I think the big. He was a big dog, and this was like way back in Cologne. Was it? No, it was way back. It was like 20 something years ago because it was before my kids. And a guy had a little dog, and he literally he got scared when the dog barked and ran towards him. He lifted the little dog to try and grab him and hold him, and the dog I was with literally went and kind of grabbed the little dog with his teeth. So, and he did puncture, but I think it was because he either thought it was prey or, you know, anything fast moving, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I did not want to be holding Felix just in case, you know, even though, I mean, horses eat grass, so I don't know what I was thinking. But so I didn't want to hold him just in case it meant, you know, he's a weakling or whatever. So we all three of us did manage to walk past the horse. But it's interesting that, you know, animals are the same way. Like they don't want to harass other animals, like especially obviously if they're bigger. But yeah, they keep their distance. And honestly, I think as human beings, we should really practice that, but we don't, you know, we practice hunting and we try to capture animals and things like that. And I think if we just all avoided and respected each other, we would all really live in peace. Yeah, and I hear stories of people that live out in nature and they say, yeah, you know, even with snakes, like if you just leave them alone and let them be and not bother them, not be in their way, not interfere with their life and what they do, they leave humans alone for the most part. Like I'm sure there are, you know, like tigers or lions that are jerks or, you know, super hungry and they'll obviously go for a human, but for the most part, if they are fed, oh, somebody's leaving me a present. If they are fed, yeah, like they just they leave you alone. They don't want to bother other beings. Okay, guys, we're gonna head back now. It's our morning walk, and then later we're probably going to head to the main house again because I do want to get into town to grab some things. I can't remember what they are offhand, but I did have a small, like a 2-item list. Okay, guys.